Good evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, a Tullahoma alderman was discovered going through personal documents in the city's Human Resources Department. Tennessee makes moves to restrict bail on violent criminals, and several local sports heroes were inducted into the Tullahoma Sports Authority's Hall of Fame this past weekend. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader.
Hi, my name is Ringo. Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
The Duck River Watershed Society wants to invite you to our second annual Spring Cleanup on Saturday, March 4th at the Fire Lake Public Use and Boat Ramp. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on ensuring the Duck River Watershed continues to benefit those who live, work, and recreate on it. We need volunteers to help with cleaning up parts of Normandy Lake down to the winter water drawdown line. Sign up at our website, duckriverwatershedsociety.com, and help do your part.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Alderman Jenna Almacher's actions have been questioned after she was discovered inspecting human resource documents which were scheduled for shredding and were stored in a City Hall lockbox. The incident occurred last Wednesday, February the 1st. The alderman was found in an unlocked HR file closet at City Hall reading through legal and personal files, including depositions and harassment complaints. These documents were set to be shredded following the state's guidelines for the preservation and destruction of records. According to Tullahoma City Administrator Jennifer Moody, the documents were set to be destroyed because they contain personal and legal information, such as personal health information, attorney-client privileged information, and other types of confidential information routinely maintained in employee personnel files. Moody provided an account of the afternoon in question, stating that Alderman Almacher had entered the storage closet, closed the door behind her, and had brought her phone with her. She was discovered with the documents by HR Director Costa Bryce. Director Bryce stated that Almacher had been in the closet for approximately 8 minutes before she opened the door and found her there. Moody stated that Almacher was adamant that she was either going to be allowed to look through the files or she said she would roll them out to her car and take them with her. The city administrator then brought the files and Almacher to her office, at which time Almacher called Alderman Kurt Glick, Derek Mann, and Bobby Wilson and requested they come to the City Hall. Alderman Daniel Berry also arrived at Moody's office for the ensuing discussion. The documents in question were eventually removed by the police and placed in a secure location in the Tullahoma Police Department until they had a chance to speak with attorney Steve Worsham. Almacher returned to City Hall on Friday, February 3rd, attempting to gain access to the documents. She was reportedly denied access by Tullahoma Police Chief Jason Williams. Almacher said that the documents in the box appeared to be legal and personnel files, as well as referring conversations between her and Glick related to his lawsuit against the city of Tullahoma for age discrimination. Almacher then shared her concern regarding the city's document retention policy. She stated that Moody had denied the gathered aldermen access to the documents due to the Freedom of Information Act protections prior to redaction. Moody stated that elected officials are not given greater rights than regular citizens, and that due to the sensitive nature of the documents in question, her recommendation was that board members receive guidance from the city attorney on whether they are most appropriate ones to conduct an inspection of them. According to Moody, following her statement on the 3rd, Almacher reportedly began going into the offices of several employees, including the Human Resources Director and the City Administrator's Assistant, where she claimed to be conducting an investigation and again began calling some other aldermen to ask that they come to City Hall for a meeting with her. In response to this, Mayor Ray Noaes arrived at City Hall and assisted in closing City Hall early at approximately 2:45 p.m. City Administrator Moody said Alderman Amacher had disrupted regular operations and employees were feeling threatened and concerned about what would happen next, who might be pulled from their desk and interviewed, or what they may be directed to do. City Hall was closed. However, when Alderman Glick and Mayor Pro Tem Mathis arrived sometime after the closure, Amacher unlocked the front door to the building to allow them inside for a meeting. In the days following the events at City Hall, Amacher has made multiple posts on her Facebook account, sharing emails and interactions with city officials, as well as 2 Facebook Live videos. We will update you as the story develops. We'll be right back after these messages.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that could be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Welcome back. At this past weekend's Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame banquet, the first inductee of 2023 was Whitney Darlington.
Our first 2023 Hall of Fame inductee is Whitney Darlington Morris. Whitney is currently a teacher at Tullahoma High School. She is the assistant girls softball coach. She is the assistant strength coach for THS football. Whitney has a long list of records that I could read off, but I believe it's safe to say she's the greatest softball player in Tullahoma High School history. I think she's the greatest softball player in Motlow State Community College history, and certainly an outstanding softball player at MTSU as a professional, as a coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Whitney Darlington Morris.
Wow, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm pretty excited to be here tonight. I'm pretty fired up. This is really cool. I love this town. I'm so happy that I came home. And thank you all for being here. Thank you so much to the Sports Council for putting on this event and for this honor. Seeing my 2 little girls and my 2 nephews out there, this is a really fun moment for me, so thank you. I'm extremely honored to be included in this group. Softball has been really good to me, and I'm trying to soak in every moment. My husband, Chris, and my 2 girls, Emma and Riley, are here, which is really, really fun. Special thanks to y'all for being here and for supporting me and supporting me in my coaching career. I've really learned that coaching is a family commitment, and I have a really great one, so thank you. I still love the game, and I absolutely loved playing the game. I had so much fun. I was that player that had to be out there smiling and having fun. But honestly, the best part of the entire ride has been the relationships. So many people poured into me as a kid and a young player, and the opportunities that I was blessed to have are a direct result of how much people took the time to care for me. The good Lord blessed me with some ability, and every good thing comes from above, so I know that none of this would have been possible without Him. And looking back, I truly believe that my family and my coaches were all part of the plan. I'd like to especially thank my grandparents. My grandma Barb is here tonight. My mom and dad, Scott and Diane Darlington, and my brother Ben. They supported me my whole life in softball and in so much more. The kids I grew up with in my neighborhood. My brother Ben Darlington lived next door to Jordan Heiss, had Brian Morris on the other side. Jack and Paul Castile and Josh Herrera were a huge part of my love for this game. I was a girl in a neighborhood full of boys who loved to play wiffle ball, and I love to play too. I have no doubt at all that growing up with them and playing outside every day helped to develop me as a player more than anything else. Most of them played high school baseball. My brother ended up playing at Middle Tennessee, go Blue Raiders. And there was another guy that I used to get hit off of that was pretty good too. Brian Morris never took it easy on me. Go Motlow. My youth coaches made a huge impact. Countless moms and dads who spent their free time with us coaching little girls softball. They made the game fun and they taught us how to compete. I still call Robert Barnes anytime I need him. His daughter Casey was a heck of a ball player and a wonderful teammate. But he treated us all like we were his, and he still does. We love you, Barney. My high school coach, David Carwell, had a huge influence on me. I was at a coaching clinic last month, and Lonnie Alameda, who is the head coach at Florida State, which is a pretty good program, was explaining how they run a trail relay on balls in the gap. And I just smiled and shook my head, thought of Coach. Because of him, I knew exactly what she was talking about. He coached us at such a high level, and he also taught me that being cold is all in your head. I'm very thankful for my high school PE2 teachers, Coach John Olive and Coach Ronnie Dyer. I was at a huge advantage lifting weights in college for what they were able to teach us in that class, so thank you, Coach. Coach Mathis, Coach Jerry Mathis, my high school AD coming through, intentionally took time out to work with me. He was at most of our games in high school and would make sure we always got to do our secret handshake anytime I was on deck. We should show y'all, it's pretty cool. And his fungo is ridiculous, and I know some of you in this room know that. Coach Gary Barfoot at Motlow showed me how fun softball can be and how working your tail off makes it even more fun. As his assistant high school coach, I still have the privilege of learning from him every day and watching how he influences young people. He took me with him when he got the chance to coach at the Tennessee Diamonds, which was the NPF National Professional Fast Pitch League. We had a lot of fun working together at that organization, and putting on that uniform was such a cool moment and a dream realized. My coaches at Middle Tennessee, Lee Podlesny and Jody Shimilewski, challenged me to get outside of my comfort zone and play the game fast. They opened the door to playing overseas in Sweden for me, and that allowed me to achieve my lifelong dream of playing professionally. The Hovde Saints took a chance on me, one of the best summers of my life, and winning that Swedish national championship is one of my favorite softball moments. Thank you to every teammate I've ever had. Softball's a team sport, and my teammates have had a huge role in my success, and have also become lifelong friends. One last thank you to Dad. You taught me everything. Thank you for the millions of hours of BP you threw me. To my mom, you were always there, and I'm so grateful for you. And thank you to softball. It's still allowing me to build relationships with young people and pass on some of the influence I've been so blessed to have. Thanks again to the Sports Council for this amazing honor, and go Wildcats.
More news is coming up in just a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
Welcome back. Also at this year's Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame banquet, retired Tullahoma Wildcats coach John Olive was inducted into the elite group.
All right, our next inductee into the 2023 class of the Tullahoma Sports Council Hall of Fame is Mr. John Olive. Coach Olive, Coach Olive was named the Tullahoma News Citizen of the Year in 2020 and also the Chamber Citizen of the Year. He was the 2021 Tennessee Titan Coach of the Year. He coached at Tullahoma High School for 29 years. Coach Olive won 229 career games as a head coach, including 203 at Tullahoma High School. 23 out of 29 years, the Wildcats went to the playoffs. Darrell, 24 out of 29 years, the Wildcats beat the Coffee County Red Raiders. And in 2021, although he didn't know it was personal, Coach Olive provided for me the greatest time of my life. 15 games, dream come true, undefeated state champions, 100 years, enough said. John Olive.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the Sports Council recognizing me tonight, and that recognition goes far beyond me. I spent 29 years as the head coach at Tullahoma High School. God blessed me richly with a family, with friends, with a community, with fellow workers, and with some athletes that could compete and win football games. I want to say thank you to Cherie, my wife, my life partner. She's a strong, independent woman. She's just done a great job at raising our 3 children, Jared, Caitlin, and Caleb. Everybody knows that has any knowledge of coaching knows that if a coach is successful, it's because he's got somebody behind him that does a whole lot of the work on the home front. And for me, it was my wife, Cherie. Our family's now grown to include Miranda, and Caleb and Miranda have our first grandchild, JD, who's here in attendance tonight, and then Jared and Macy. I appreciate all of you very, very much. My 3 children, if they complain, their mother never told me that their dad was not nearly as present as other parents at their athletic events. Their dad would be at some other athletic event with somebody else's children. After the 2018 season, I really thought about resigning and retiring. And if it had not been coaching with Caleb and Jared, I probably would have. But I was really enjoying my time with my sons and watching them grow in their coaching wisdom. The real debt of gratitude is to all the players that made Friday nights fun in Tullahoma. That first team in '93 laid a great foundation. Numerous players made going to the playoffs an expectation. And even the 2016 team that was 0-19 spread over 2 seasons, I will never forget that they fought with every fiber in their beings to get their first win at Giles County, though they didn't get it that night. Finally, a special group of players that made not only Friday night special, but as Scott has referenced, they made one specific Saturday in December historic. All I can do is say thank you. Some of the players are here. I saw some back there earlier, spoke with them. All I can do is say thank you. It was a privilege to be a part of you, to be a coach of you. Sport of football is about coaches working together. It's not a one-man job. And I was blessed with many assistant coaches that would work the long days, whether that's in the summertime getting a team ready for the season, or whether it's on that working that Sunday evening till 10, 11, 12 o'clock so that the football team could be ready to roll on Monday to start laying out the plan for that next Friday. Some of these coaches only spent a year or 2 with me. Some of them spent 1 or 2 decades with me. I can't name them all off. and stay within my time limit. So I just want you to know, any award that I've ever received, I've always tried to spread with the staff. If I won a Coach of the Year award, I always gave a Staff of the Year award because Mark Moran and the quarterback club were willing to buy the extra plaques. I wanted them to know that it's all about us. That included the strength trainers, the athletic trainers, the video and technology people, the people who would pack and unpack our trailer every week, our sidelines, our locker rooms, to the position coaches, to the coordinators. I appreciate each and every one of the men and women that I've worked with over the years. Last but not least, I think I counted up, I've worked for 5 superintendents, 5 principals, 2 athletic directors, and a lot of fellow teachers that I owe a great deal of thanks to for how they helped us accomplish what we did in this community. Some of my fellow inductees, Mark Moran, I owe a tremendous debt of gratitude. Whitney Moore's kept me up to date in the classroom because as technology came coming into the classroom, I took the Bert Oakley attitude and decided that I can go home. And Whitney would help me out and help me get all that straightened out. Clester, you were a part of those years. You would always teach those runners to go north and south, head for that goal line instead of running to the sidelines. Coach Mathis was always there. He was the AD that I worked for the longest. And last, the community of Tullahoma. What a unique community it is as unique as its name. What great support you guys have given our program over the years. Leave with 2 things. Learn to do the ordinary things extraordinarily well, and you will find success. No matter what you're talking about, if you'll learn to do the ordinary things extraordinarily well, you will find success. Last but not least, one of our coaches put this up in our locker room, and I truly believe it. I want it to matter when I leave here. I want it to matter. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Times are very challenging right now, and stress levels are high.
Reports indicate overdoses on the rise in communities across the state of Tennessee.
Those experiencing addiction and their loved ones may be struggling to navigate through all the change.
We want you to know that deaths from overdose are preventable.
And help is available.
Anytime.
Day or night.
How do I know?
How do I know?
I am a face of recovery
in Tennessee.
Welcome back. Tennessee House members have filed legislation that seeks to increase judicial oversight of bail amounts set in the most serious criminal cases in Tennessee. House Bill 830 would allow only a criminal or circuit court judge to set bail in cases involving an individual charged with a Class A or a Class B felony. Currently, bail can also be set by a judicial commissioner or a criminal or circuit court clerk. Bill's sponsor, State Representative John Gillespie, Republican of Memphis, said, quote, "These serious crimes deserve the most intense scrutiny, especially since these decisions could result in potentially dangerous individuals being released back into our communities. This legislation could bring more transparency and accountability to the bail process by ensuring that only elected judges, not appointed judicial commissioners, are making these important public safety decisions," end quote. Concerns about violent crime suspects receiving small bonds, particularly in Shelby County, have grown in recent months. Last fall, the suspect charged with fatally shooting a 15-year-old girl in Millington was released from jail within 24 hours on a $10,000 bond. In December, a suspect accused of striking another man in the head with a golf club in Memphis was released on just $5,000 bond, while the victim remained on life support at a local hospital. A first-degree murder suspect was also recently released from custody due to what was later described as a mistake and a process error. He was later taken back into custody by authorities without incident. The bill has now been assigned to the House Criminal Justice Subcommittee. And stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
The Duck River Watershed Society wants to invite you to our second annual spring cleanup on Saturday, March 4th at the Fire Lake Public Use and Boat Ramp. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on ensuring the Duck River Watershed continues to benefit those who live, work, and recreate on it. We need volunteers to help with cleaning up parts of Normandy Lake down to the winter water drawdown line. Sign up at our website, duckriverwatershedsociety.com, and help do your part.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me at Life Care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1965 at 71 degrees. The record low was in 1933 at -7 degrees. The average high for this day is 51 and the average low is 31. Partly cloudy for tonight with a low of 39. Partly sunny for Friday with a high of 56 and a low of 34, and partly sunny for Saturday with a high of 50 and a low of 30. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader. Stay safe and have a great evening.